Why do we work in the human performance industry? What is it that we love about our jobs? Most of us would answer, we like to help people. We want to make others' lives better. An inherent part of our position is to give to others and care for others, but how often do we pause and focus on ourselves? How much time do we dedicate to our own personal development and care? I'm not talking about working out or eating right. I mean truly developing our skills as human beings so we can not only be more self-aware, but are able to deeply empathize and connect with others. You know the old oxygen mask analogy. Put on your own mask before others on the plane. You can't save anyone until you save yourself. Here are our learning objectives. We're going to learn about the framework for emotional intelligence. We'll examine the need for both personal and social competence when looking at relationship management. And we'll explain the interdependence of self-awareness, self-management, self-motivation, social awareness, and social and interpersonal skills. We are in the industry of building, maintaining, and growing relationships with people. At the end of the day, we're in the business of relationship management, and the skills we need to manage relationships depend on the skills we need to manage ourselves. By now, you've learned about theories behind the behavior upgrade model and the power behind motivational interviewing. Now let's dive deeper into the principles that will force multiply the impact you can create with your clients. Motivational interviewing requires self-awareness and self-regulation, which leads to social awareness and ultimately relationship management. Because we are creating an environment that breeds autonomy and collaboration and evocation, we must always be seeking to improve what we term our emotional intelligence as a gateway to unlocking the potential for deeper connection with our clients. Here we have Dr. Roy Sugarman, Director of Applied Neuroscience, to help us navigate these principles.
Welcome to the section on emotional intelligence. What exactly is emotional intelligence? Well, it's a concept developed by a psychologist called Daniel Goleman. EI, as we call it, is the ability to be aware of, control and express one's emotions, and to handle the interpersonal relationships judiciously and empathetically, most importantly. Some experts suggest it can be more important than intellectual intelligence, as it embodies the intangible qualities that create a synergistic and positive human experience. Emotional intelligence can be broken down, as you see, into two competencies. One, personal, and two, social competence. What will benefit us most in our industry are the skills of relationship management. All personal skills point to those of social regulation. At the same time, they all feed into and enhance each other. We work with people day in and day out. We build, nourish, and evolve these relationships. It is our responsibility to do the self-work required to guide and to care for others. A good place to start is self-awareness. Let's look at how we develop self-awareness and other areas of personal competence. Now we're about to give you a lot of information, a lot of education, as well as strategies to cultivate emotional intelligence. But remember as we go along that you don't need to do all of these all at once. Emotional intelligence is a lifelong process of ebb and flow. So just keep in mind that you will absorb exactly what you need at any given moment. Things will resonate, some things won't. Approach this with an open mind and allow this process to unfold in a way that is unique to you. We begin with personal competence as a gateway to social competence. Three qualities of personal competence include, firstly, self-awareness, secondly, self-regulation, and thirdly, self-motivation. Let's take a close look at each one of these. Self-awareness is knowing one's internal states, one's preferences, resources, and of course, intuition. The three qualities of self-awareness are emotional awareness, accurate self-assessment, and of course, self-confidence. Emotional awareness is our guiding light on how emotions shape our lives and how they affect those around us. Self-assessment enables us to know our strengths and limitations. Be open to feedback and continuously seek to improve. As self-confidence reinsures our sense of self-worth, it ensures our capabilities and decisions are more accurate. Let's look at a few strategies to cultivate self-awareness.
In order to improve our emotional awareness, the ability to self-assess, and our self-confidence, it's critical that we take the time to pause, notice, reflect, and adjust to our own thoughts and actions. So the first strategy is simple. Take 5. Pause, pay attention, and just get out of your own way and allow yourself to feel. Take 5 minutes a day just to turn inward. A few techniques include, first, internal focusing, centering yourself, practicing breathing tempos, and taking time to become aware of the physical sensations in your body. The second, external focusing, simply paying attention to the sights and sounds and scents around you. And the third, an affirmation or mantra, practicing a repeated affirmation to yourself or out loud. The second strategy of self-awareness is to implement self-reflection check-ins. Take an extra step to look deeper into yourself and your behaviors through journaling or conversing. Set a regular cadence of self-reflection, at least once a week, if not more frequently, to review your emotions and behaviors. This will help avoid a coach-centered approach to motivational interviewing. Continuous adjustment to feedback will keep you alert and fluid in your awareness. Consider questions such as, what are my strongest attributes? What can I be stronger in? What lessons have I learned in the last period of time, and how am I applying them? What are my habitual reactions to feedback, or contrary views or stress? How can I enhance those reactions? The third strategy is to check your body language. Research has shown that 7% of communication is through words, which means 93% is nonverbal, 55% being body language, and 38% tone of voice. That means that our thoughts, intentions, or feelings are expressed by physical behaviors such as our facial expressions, our body posture, our gestures, our eye movement, touch, use of our space, and our voices. As facilitators, the way we convey our sense of self-awareness, expertise, our leadership, and confidence is evident to our clients through these nonverbal expressions. Take a look at these images and notice the impressions you get from each one. Notice how you feel in your body when you look at these. Notice what judgments arise in your head. Notice what conclusions you automatically draw just from simple posture and presentation. Professional body language expert Patty Wood says that your audience subconsciously processes your body language cues. Get this, judgments of political candidates' faces in 1 second predicts 70% of race outcomes. That means one glance, and someone has construed a firm opinion about who you are and your credibility. Many mind-body researchers have directly correlated positive body language with positive self-image and keen self-awareness, meaning our physical expressions are a reflection of our internal state of well-being, and therefore we project our internal state onto others. While nonverbal communication governs how others think about us, Amy Cuddy, social psychologist and body language expert, has shown that it also governs how we think about ourselves. How we hold and carry ourselves sends messages back to our brains. So if we're sitting slumped and head down and drooping eyes and a heavy head, our brain sends negative chemicals into our bloodstream in less than a 40th of a second to make us feel the way we look. We can also use body language as an ally to trigger the same positive brain chemical reactions as in self-awareness techniques. A comparison study revealed that those with high-powered postures had a 26% greater risk tolerance and 25% decrease in the common stress hormone cortisol. Those with lower-powered postures had a 15% increase in cortisol. So what does that mean for us? First, the more we authenticate our self-awareness and regulation strategies, the more evident it will be in our physical expressions and delivery. Practicing postures that empower us and enable us to feel a sense of control and ownership will help cultivate those natural leader tendencies. Some will say, fake it till you make it. But truly what is happening is we are gathering impressions from all positive influences along the way and constructing our own unique simulator. Here are 5 steps from Roy Sugarman for activating your internal power and expressing body language that conveys empowered confidence.
First, we find inspiration, someone we admire, emulate, perhaps the typical leader in our industry or company's culture, our teachers, mentors, heroes, and all of the people who have supported us along our own path. Finding characteristics that we admire in others can be the mirror we need to reflect what is already inside us. The second step is to simulate and test. Upgrading is uncomfortable, no doubt, especially as we are trying on a new version of ourselves. Doing things that challenge our self-esteem and self-image is essential in breaking down the walls of stagnation. Simulation is the process of adjusting behaviors to keep going, choosing to avoid or engage in a distraction, which may require emotional inhibition in order to move forward to optimal change. Testing our skills in different environments incurs over time and will enable us to get the reflections necessary for change. The third step is to gather feedback. We're always in a constant state of go, no go, feeling out what works and what doesn't, and customizing our response to get the desired outcome. What are the reactions of those around you? What worked? What didn't work? What felt right? What felt a bit off? What benefits did you gain from trying something new? The OARS principles work for personal feedback just as much as client feedback. They give us a platform to engage, to test, to get reaction and respond. The fourth step is to reflect and adjust. Remembering, stay humble. Engage in the game of being human, learning, reflecting, growing with each move you make. Try on different personas, stay creative, open your perception. This step is a combination of being ambitious and driving ahead, and being humble and cautious of what may distract you, the immediate or delayed gratification. Sacrifice, grit. Despite successive failures, keep going, stick to it, proceed. Failure damages your self-image and self-confidence. Resilience, on the other hand, is bouncing back in the face of failure. Lastly, own it. It's important to remember as you move through the process that the one who is extraordinary and powerful is already alive inside of you. So as you peel back the layers and adjust to external feedback, you might realize that you don't have to simulate the outcomes so much anymore. And you will realize that you already are what you admire in others. Our power postures then come to be simply a true representation of ourselves.
So here's the strategy. For 2 minutes a day, find a place where you can practice your power posture. Take 30 seconds to consider what and who you are evoking. Envision a time when you felt especially powerful and confident, or envision what it might look and feel like to be the most powerful version of yourself. Stand in a tall stance that evokes that feeling. Get a sense of how your body feels and visualize the reactions and expressions of those around you responding to your greatness. What does it feel like, sound like, look like? Notice all of your senses. Even if you aren't feeling 100% confident in that moment, dig deep and do it anyway. And consider this. As you become more perceptive to your own body language, you'll begin to notice your client's body language better as well. We can tell a lot about a person from the words they don't say and the emotions they convey while we're speaking, or even during that awkward silence. So start to soften your perception, take a step back, and take in all of the messages that want to be heard.
Now let's move on to the second component of personal competence, which is self-regulation. And perhaps to illustrate, here's a Native American story called The Two Wolves. It starts with an old Cherokee telling his grandson about a battle that often goes on inside people. He says, "My son, the fight is between two wolves. One of them is evil. It is angry, envious, jealous, sorrowful, regretful, greedy, arrogant, self-pitying, guilty, resentful, inferior, dishonest, even proud, superior, and egotistical. The other one is good. This wolf is joyful, peaceful, loving, hopeful, serene, humble, kind, benevolent, empathetic, generous, truthful, compassionate, and faithful." His grandson thinks for a while and then asks, "Which wolf wins, grandfather?" The old Cherokee simply replies, "The one that you feed." The point here is that we choose how we are going to respond in any given situation. The more we cultivate the ability to call on our positive thoughts and behaviors, the good wolf, the less power the negative wolf inside us will have. Self-regulation is managing one's internal states, one's own impulses, and managing our resources. The 5 qualities of self-regulation are self-control, trustworthiness, conscientiousness, adaptability, and finally, innovation. Managing impulsive feelings and distressing emotions, responding with positivity, maintaining your integrity and responsibility for personal performance, and being open to change and innovation are the essentials to maintaining balance of your feelings, thoughts, and actions. Let's look at a few strategies that will cultivate self-regulation.
Now, it's important to recognize that these skills build on each other. So the strategies for improving your self-awareness are prerequisites for improving self-regulation. Keep that in mind as we build our emotional intelligence toolkit. The first strategy to cultivating self-regulation is establish your values. Grab a journal and write down your top 5 values. At EXOS, we value unity and drive, ingenuity, integrity, accountability, and humility. So think about yours. It's important to be clear on what is personally meaningful to you to lay the groundwork for managing your thoughts and responses in the real world. The second strategy is commit to your path. As you establish your values, just as you advise your clients, find your own intrinsic motivation for committing to managing yourself better. This will help you commit to navigating through the tough and stressful situations with discipline, flexibility, and calmness. Use the same techniques you provide your clients in motivational interviewing, like the decisional balance sheet and the why chain. At the end, you should have a clear anchor statement or token to remind you each time you are confronted with a choice. The third strategy is to take care of yourself. As facilitators and guides, we tend to ignore ourselves. When situations challenge your ability to manage it all, you should activate resilient strategies that nourish your body and mind and help you recover and recharge. Simple self-care techniques can empower you to choose the positive road versus the negative road, maintaining the courage and strength it takes to do your job optimally. Choose one of the reactive or proactive resilience strategies provided in the toolkit and find the one that works best for you. Once you've mastered it, move on to another one.
Now, self-motivation is comprised of the emotional tendencies that guide or facilitate reaching our goals. The 4 qualities of self-motivation are achievement drive, commitment, initiative, and optimism. Staying in results-oriented pursuit of improvement, making sacrifices to stay aligned with the larger mission, and seizing the opportunities while staying positive. These are the keys to staying motivated and on track with your goals. And now, a few strategies to fire up your self-motivation.
Again, keep in mind that the strategies of self-awareness and regulation are essential to building your self-motivation. The first strategy is, just like we tell our clients, do the small things well. Take your own advice. Break your larger goal into micro goals and ritualize them so they become upgraded behaviors. Keep a record of your progress on a weekly basis and make adjustments based on life circumstances. Just give yourself a break when life gets in the way, but get back on track and hold yourself accountable. Doing simple things savagely well will set you up for great success and keep you excited for what's to come. The second strategy is claim your autonomy. Be disciplined. Hold yourself accountable for your actions. You are the expert in everything you. Recognizing your responsibility to yourself will keep you from seeing through a negative lens and blaming others. Each day, take some time to reflect on what you really did well, and then also what you could have improved on. The third strategy to stay motivated is to stay positive. Each evening, write down 3 things you are grateful for. Spend at least a minute thinking about each one and acknowledge the impact it has on your life and those around you. Remembering the goodness in your life will help keep you focused and on the track to greatness. Let's do a check for learning. Choose one strategy from each section and write it down in your own words. Then take 5 minutes and practice one of the strategies you chose. So now we've covered the personal competencies of emotional intelligence: self-awareness, self-management, and self-motivation. Unfortunately, we don't live in isolation, so caring for ourselves isn't enough to sustain us, especially in our industry. Now we'll start to unfold how doing all of this self-work will prepare us for social engagement and ultimately provide us the tools to navigate and nourish our relationships with our clients.
Social competence determines how we handle relationships. The 2 qualities of social competence are social awareness and social or interpersonal skills. Let's take a closer look at each. Social awareness is to be mindful of others' feelings, needs, and concerns. The 5 qualities of social awareness are understanding others, developing others, service orientation, leveraging diversity, and political awareness. Taking the time to empathize with others, listen effectively, and develop their diverse potential through your dedication to service and alignment with cultural sensitivities are the keys to creating relatedness and trust with others.
Let's talk about 3 strategies to cultivate social awareness. First, enhance your empathy. Listening is the key to empathy, as we've discovered in motivational interviewing. Practice listening to people. Pause before you speak. So much is expressed in that awkward silence with a client. Learn to deal with it, and you might find that you learn more about a client by observing body language and letting them hear their own words, and giving yourself more time to collect information. Take 3 opportunities each day to simply pause and listen, rather than impulsively talk or react. The second strategy, focus and remember. Be mindful. While listening is key, remembering what you heard is also what builds trust and respect. A little effort goes a long way in being mindful. Memorizing someone's name or parts of their personal stories is a conscious skill. Use the mnemonic tools in the toolkit for ways to help you remember. The third strategy of social awareness, understand the big vision. Seek to align with the founding principles of your organization. You are a part of a larger vision. As you align your values, priorities, and goals to that of the company, you can serve more effectively and activate your greatest service. Keep a copy of your company's values somewhere you can see it and remind yourself of the greater mission each day.
As I mentioned before, social or interpersonal skills are the skills of evoking desirable responses in others. The 5 primary qualities of social skills include influence, communication, leadership, building bonds, and collaboration and cooperation. Having developed the social awareness skills of empathy and connecting to the bigger vision, we can step fully into our roles as, firstly, community leaders, secondly, effective communicators, thirdly, conflict resolvers, and finally, collaborators who inspire and create positive change in the world. Let's discover how we cultivate these social interpersonal skills.
If you've engaged in the strategies of personal competence and social awareness, you've set yourself up for great success in building your social skills. The following strategies will put the finishing touches on your ability to manage relationships with your clients and elevate your game as a key player in the community. The first strategy is to evoke your power. Establish your authority. While a strong voice and powerful body language are typically byproducts of integrated personal competence skills, it doesn't hurt to continue embodying that humble confidence. Practice with friends, stand in front of a mirror, talk to a tree, whatever you choose, but stand tall, ground your feet, speak from your lower belly, and project your voice clearly and intently. Make eye contact and convey your message with conviction. Establishing a regular practice of this a few minutes a week will help keep you on your game. The second strategy is to just get out there. Do what makes you feel uncomfortable and uneasy. The more practice you get, the better you'll feel and the more you'll be able to influence others. Immerse yourself in a setting and challenge yourself to engage. Observe the social skills of those you admire. Join a group of like-minded people to help support your efforts. As in anything, repetition is what upgrades our behaviors. See if you can put yourself in an uncomfortable situation at least twice a week. The third strategy, just keep it fun. Being human doesn't need to be serious. The more we practice, the more chances we have to stumble and look silly. So what? Let yourself stumble and move on. Stay humble. We can stand tall in our power even more when we stay in the light of humor. Doing this will allow others to anoint and revere us rather than vying for the position of authority through arrogance. Explore, discover, and have fun while you hone your skills along the way. Let's check for learning. Choose one strategy from each social competence section and write it down in your own words. Then take 5 minutes and practice one of the strategies you chose.
At the end of the day, we are in the business of relationship management, the ability to cultivate, nourish, and grow our connections with our clients. However, all components of emotional intelligence inform each other. Therefore, we must do the work required to improve ourselves as human beings if we aspire to improve the lives of our clients. When we do this, we'll find that it is an ever-evolving and inexhaustible discovery of cultivating empathy for the self and for those around us. Empathy means being able to relate to our clients' reality. We are only an expert with an invitation from them. We become experts not through weaving some web of inspiring speech, but through creating a warm relationship in which our clients find their own resolve to change, to enhance their own self-image, and to become the greatest version of themselves that they can be.